Hey there, gamers, racers, and motorsports fans. Welcome to another video here on A+ Sim Racing.
Left side.
In this video, we're going to be taking a look at some incidents that happened recently at the Red Bull Ring in the GT3 cars on RaceRoom's ranked server. This is, of course, for educational purposes only, not to point the finger, place blame, or shame any driver. It's for that reason that none of the drivers' names will be shown during this video. And while I'm pretty sure that these incidents were not my fault, they were avoidable, so let's take a look and see what I could have done better. This incident is coming into the braking zone at turn 1, where myself and a McLaren come together. At first, I had no idea what happened. I thought I got punted from behind, and it wasn't until I took a look at the replay until I figured it out. So first, let's follow my chase cam and have a look at the incident. And now let's take a look at the McLaren's view. So from each of these views, it looks like the other is responsible. Now let's get into some analysis. You can see I'm taking a defensive position because I don't want to give them an advantage coming up to the braking zone of turn 1. And as I prepare to brake, I can see there's a consistent gap between us. And we'll take a look at the position of the McLaren. This is just past the 150 meter board on the left, and you can see they've already started braking. So that was definitely unexpected. And if we go to the next picture, you can see that they've started going to the left, which you're not supposed to do when you're under braking. You're supposed to maintain a straight line. So let's take a look with some visual cues here. You can see a little bit before the braking zone that I am pointing towards the crane there, and you can see I'm moving a little bit to the left. You look at the McLaren, you can see they're pointing at the same spot that I am, which means we're going to come together. And you can see here they're pointing even more to the left. So let's compare those two. You can see definitely as they start braking, they turn to the left. So let's take a look at that incident now from the overhead. See, they've got a better exit. They're coming alongside. We've got a good gap between us, and there you have it. They started braking too early while they were going slightly to the left. So let's take a look at that again in slower motion. Coming alongside, I'm on a defensive line, they're taking it up the inside, so they should brake early, but not that early. Now they start coming over, they brake, and I was braking just as we came together. So I could have avoided that by moving a little bit more to the left, giving them more room, but I thought there was already plenty of space there. Still, lesson learned. You know, it's all fun and games. You want to drive aggressively, and you know, rubbing is racing, right? That's why we use radar, so we can see how much space there is in between. And I suspect the problem is the other driver didn't have Otter HUD or crew chief to use the radar or spotter. So they might have thought that they were fully along, or fully ahead, and then started braking and moving over. But you're not supposed to move over once you're under braking. Even if you thought you were fully ahead, you have to commit to the line that you are on, because you know if you start braking when you're moving over, there's another vehicle there behind you, and if I'm braking later, which I have the right to do, I'm on my own line, and I did brake later, then that's going to cause a problem. So I could have avoided that by assuming the other driver was going to start squeezing me off, but I honestly thought we're both heading in a completely parallel and straight line under braking. I didn't expect that to happen. So, not expecting the unexpected was my problem there, but really the mistake was the other driver, and I just ended up getting taken along for the ride. So now let's take a look at another incident that was a last lap, last turn incident, which I could have absolutely avoided had had a little bit more thought into my move, but I saw a gap. I thought the driver was moving over to the right, so I committed to the move, and that was my downfall. So let's go and take a look at that incident now. So we're following along. I'm in the Ferrari. The BMW ahead gets a bad exit. They're a little bit unstable, and it looked like there was a gap, so I went for it. I knew I had a better exit, but they started coming over. I had to back off the throttle. So let's take a look from the top, and you can see there it looked like they were squeezing over. It looked like for a second they saw me, so they went back over to the right, and then they came back over. So once again, in slower motion, you can see there they're coming over to the left. It looks like they see me, so they go over to the right, but for some reason they come back over to the left. Now at that point, I was already off throttle because I knew something bad was happening. So you can see here, it looks like they're clearly going over to the right, and there's a gap. I've committed to the move. I'm going for it. I have a better exit. I pull alongside. I'm definitely alongside there. You can see that. But I'm running out of track, and I'm about to go on the grass. So I decide I should get off the throttle, but it's already too late. They started coming over to the left. We made contact. And if I'd committed to it, that would have been really bad. So there you can see those compared pictures, and it definitely shows that they were going to the right, they came over to the left, they straightened up, and then they came back over to the left a little bit more as the grass was running out and we made contact. So I could have avoided that by just having a better sense of the situation, knowing it's the last lap. They probably really didn't want to lose the position. They made a bit of a mistake on the last turn, unsettled the car, and I had a better exit. So I should have faked them out and gone over to the outside, and then immediately cut over to the inside, and they would have been moving to the left while I was on the right, and could have pulled alongside with more track space to move over in case they tried squeezing me off. But live and learn. Technically, I had the right to that line. I was alongside when there was a car's width of track. And again, I think it's a case of that driver either didn't have auto HUD or they were driving dirty and just didn't want to give up the position. Now it's unfortunate because that would have been a really exciting finish to the race if they had left enough room, recognizing that there was a car physically in the space next to them. And you can't move over if there's a car physically there because you're going to run into each other. But by the end of that stretch there was the finish line, and who knows, I mean, at that rate I was pulling enough, I closed the gap completely and I pulled alongside before the curb was even finished. So I may have actually had a chance of beating them, but now we'll never know. Either way, it would have made for a fantastic finish to the race, even if I didn't. So let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time.